Welcome, Facebook friends, all of our friends in Kangen Water Collective. We are so happy to be here today for this weekly interview series. And today, it's my pleasure to be able to introduce and interview Jewel. Now, we've seen each other on team calls because we both love Kangen Water. And I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to Jewel. She gave me her little bio, but I think the most interesting, not saying that wasn't interesting, but when you said you actually lived off grid for many years, like that was your parents' choice, I was like, because how many people, we watch those kind of shows where people live off grid, but Jewel actually did it, actually grew up in that environment, which I think is amazing. And I think that a lot of people would love to have those kind of skills, but that obviously has inspired you to live the life that you live now, and you have a holistic homestead Holistic is the name of it. Yep. And you make remedies. I love this. You make holistic healing remedies for your family and for your community. And obviously, since you when did Kangen come into your life? That would be the first quick question.
About 2 years ago now, almost exactly 2 years ago.
Oh, so you must have joined Louise right at the get-go, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And did you, so what was it that you were drawn to specifically? Because most of us, are looking at the water and drinking it, but you actually use it to, for part of your business, don't you? So let's just start. I'm getting so excited about this. You have 2 children. I just met Joey, who's 6, and you have Savannah as well. Mm-hmm. And you live in, was it Newcastle?
Yeah, Newcastle, California.
Newcastle, California. So you have perfect weather for homesteading, unlike New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. And so tell us a little bit about what started to shift. What was some of the changes that you noticed once you bought that Kangen machine into your house? What was your introduction to it?
Yeah. So what I was drawn to originally was the alkalization and the antioxidant rich properties. It was mainly the antioxidant rich properties that drew me into it. And so this was 2 years ago, like I said, but I've been doing my elderberry syrup business for about 4 or 5 years now. And so I'm kind of one of those people that I don't have a ton of chronic issues or anything like that. I just kind of do as many things as I possibly can to live, just my healthiest life and just feel my best. And so I wasn't trying to cure anything or anything like that. I was just oh, cool. This is great. This will assist me in feeling great. So I had no idea of what microclustering was or any of the other things about Kangen machines. So I got it and I didn't really expect to feel anything. And one thing that I immediately noticed was my energy levels. And, I have 2 kids, and my youngest was a baby when I first got it. And so, I'm drained from her, waking up multiple times in the night with her. And but then I started realizing, I'm gosh, what's going on? I didn't really tie it to that at first. And then I was wait, that's the only thing I've changed in my life. And my energy level is crazy. I don't, but not crazy, just more I'm not groggy anymore. And I just feel great. And I can keep up with the day and I'm not exhausted by the end of the day. So, that is kind of what made me dive in a little bit more and realize it's more than just antioxidants and, alkalization. And I'm okay, what's going on here? And so once I learned more, I found out about microclustering. And so basically during the electrolysis process, the water molecule forms into smaller, excuse me. Hold on, please, Kate.
My water is empty.
Okay, drink some of Savannah's. Sorry.
Is he drinking Kangen?
He is drinking Kangen water. Yes, of course.
Perfect. We didn't even have to pay him for that.
I know.
All right, so you're going to give us the dumbed down version for microclustering for all of the non-scientists in the room, which that's me.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm definitely not a scientist, so this is definitely a dumbed down version. So how I understand it is water is in clusters of molecules, and each molecule is formed of about 10 or 12 clusters in normal water. But when it goes through the electrolysis process, it creates smaller clusters of water. And so there's less or fewer molecules, I should say. So it's able to penetrate your cells more easily and efficiently. And so what I was realizing is when I was drinking, a gallon of water a day before having my Kangen machine, I was still feeling like full and bloated, but thirsty. And I realized what was happening is probably I just wasn't hydrated. And that's why I was feeling groggy by the end of the day. So with it being microclustered, it was able to penetrate my cells more efficiently and actually hydrate me. And I felt really great. And that's what was keeping my energy up, because I realized what was going on there, and like I was actually being hydrated. And so when I really dug into that a little bit more, I realized that it kind of would take the same effect on, that's why like the higher pH in the Kangen machine can like degrease your oven, remove oil-based pesticides from your fruits and vegetables and things like that. So I started using it with my elderberry syrup because I'm like, okay, well, if it can do that, then I feel like it would extract as many nutrients as possible and flavor out of all my herbs. And so I just started using it with that and applying it towards my business, and I've just been using it ever since.
So for anybody that wants to make elderberry syrup, I'm actually doing maple syrup right now, which is totally different.
Oh yeah.
You just boil it down. But for the elderberry syrup, so are you using 9.5? Or do you you use 9.5, you add, and there's a whole process that goes along. And did you notice a difference with using Kangen water, your elderberry syrup that came up, and then like the potency of it after you started using the water?
Yeah, and especially in the color, I noticed that it's darker now. So I use the same amounts of everything, but when I'm straining it now, I'm like, gosh, like this is really dark. So it must be doing something, I would imagine.
So, and then for those of you people who are watching, like what could you use elderberry syrup for?
Immune boosting, like general major immune booster, antioxidants. So, goes right along with what Kangen water is all about. Yeah.
Well, and I was also going to ask, because obviously you're a young mom with young children. Do you find, how else has Kangen machine really helped you with your lifestyle and obviously with children? And, I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking like cleaning must be like, you don't have to panic about then going into the bathroom and like opening up some bleach.
Yes, that's huge. Yeah. So, definitely using my 2.5 water, hypochlorous acid. So that's been really nice. I actually have been using that for sanitizing all my, elderberry equipment now, because so why not? It's a totally safe organic sanitizer. So that's what I use for sanitizing all my my equipment. But yeah, like for cleaning is really great. Like you said, I don't have to worry about them getting into things. Another thing along with kids is my son is really clean, but my daughter's an absolute disaster. She's always a mess. And so her clothes are always getting super dirty. Like she's just crazy. And so it's been really nice using in my laundry. Again, with the microclustering, like that's what gets out all of her stains because she's just insane, and she tries to ruin every piece of clothing, but I just toss it in a bowl of 11.5 and call it good. And it's never failed me.
So you actually soak clothes in the 11.5 and then throw them in the laundry machine. Do you use the 11.5 at that point, or do you use a laundry detergent as well?
No, I don't use laundry detergent anymore. I just fill the basin with water, and then I do a half a gallon of 11.5 water in there, and that's it. And everything's fine, and nothing smells. Or my husband is actually an arborist, and so he's around trees all day, getting like pitch sap on his clothes, and is just really stinky and dirty. And all I use for him is the 11.5 also. And
did you say half a gallon?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm now committed that I'm going to try this. Actually, not putting laundry detergent on.
Yeah, it took me a while to make the transition. I was very skeptical at first. I'm like, no way. Like I've never found like a really good, like, laundry detergent alternative. And, I don't know. I always go for like a more like eco-conscious and like toxin-free option, but it's still, I just still feel like it doesn't always do as well of a job, but you know, I refuse to go back. And so when I actually started using this, I'm like, there's no way like just water is going to do the trick. And I was proven wrong.
Wow, I'm inspired because I mean, I know we have to use electrolysis enhancer to create 11.5 water and 2.5, but I was just thinking about how much money I actually spend on, you know, laundry detergent. I usually buy either, well, On Guard, which was from, you know, the doTERRA, but sometimes I'll buy the 7th generation. Usually when I'm doing my Airbnb laundry, I use that. But I'm now going to try that. Now, any other tips that you have for people that might be thinking like, well, like if somebody's hesitant about Kangen, hesitant about jumping in, because obviously it's an investment, you know, is there anything that would push that you would say to somebody that's in that place, like, well, yeah, but it's like $4,000 or $5,000 depending on which machine you get. Like, what would you say for that?
Honestly, I didn't realize how many things it could be good for when I first got my machine, but I kind of just learned as I went and made a commitment to changing at least one thing every week. And so since then, I've replaced my laundry detergent, I replaced my cleaners, I replaced my hair conditioner. I use the 6.0 beauty water as my hair conditioner now, and instead of conditioner. What else have I replaced? Can
I just ask you that? So do you know, like, you still shampoo your hair with regular shampoo, and then when you come out of the shower, you then just do the
spray in the shower of 6.0. And then I'll do a rinse, but then I spray it with 6.0 again after I get out of the shower.
It's all about having the products in the right place. So I never thought about putting my 6.0 actually in the shower. That's a really good idea. The other question I was thinking, because do you grow your own elderberries?
I'm in the process. So we planted 35 plants last year, and 5 of them produce really well right now. And 10 of them started producing a little bit last year. And so I'm hoping we'll get a higher yield this year. So definitely in the works of growing my own. Right now I buy organic and dried and everything. But I'm trying to make that transition. So that's like a 5-year goal, is to 100% use my own elderberries.
Wow. And so the question, of course, is, are you watering them with Kangen water?
I do once a week, go out to my garden and I'll water everything with Kangen water. It is a little bit difficult to kind of get it out there every single day because we do have a lot in a large garden. And so when I do that, it's usually just in between here and there because I'm like, here's your food. So I treat it more like a supplement almost than, I wish I could have a Kangen machine outside out there.
Connected to your garden hose, because there is an attachment for that, isn't there? So when you're watering your plants, just because I see you've also got a gorgeous plant behind you, is there like a rule of thumb that you're always going to generally use this number water? Is it 6 point? Is it the beauty water?
Yeah, I noticed that the 6.0 is generally a really good one for them. And I'll even Google, like what pH do plant like, and it always comes up with generally around that like 6.0 mark. And so that's what I normally do. When I'm doing starts, like garden starts, I do use the 9.5 just because of the microclustering and, the optimal hydration, kind of like that. And for some reason, it always does really good when I do starts and the seeds. But when they're established, I do 6.0.
Okay, so you just because I was like, what starts? I was thinking you meant, so if you're going right back to the basics, which I think I'm going to try and do, you put the seeds in and you're going to give them 9.5. Is that until they start sprouting?
That's what I do personally. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do, but that's what I do.
Well, I've so enjoyed getting to know you a little bit better, Jewel. Thank you so much for sharing how you use Kangen in your family. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we end today's interview?
No, I think I hit a lot of the bases, but thank you so much. I enjoyed sharing.
I'm so glad that you shared. And yes, I do. I bought some elderberry syrup at the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so I have it there. I haven't had to use much of it yet, but it's delicious. I was adding it to my coffee at some point as well.
Oh,
so,
weird. Interesting. I haven't heard that one.
Because I think I ran out of syrup or something. I try to avoid, like, I really should just avoid sugar, but I still need like a little bit of a crush. So I'm like, some elderberry syrup. So listen, we'll have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It was lovely to meet your beautiful children, and blessings on your homestead and your elderberry syrup business.